Welcome to Neosho Wildcat Baseball, live on KNEO.org. This broadcast is a sporting outreach of the KNEO Sports Network. You're now locked into the official pregame show of the Neosho Wildcats. Now let's go to the game site for all the action.
And good evening, Wildcat fans from the Marion Family Complex. John Ball, Matt Ball with you. The Cats are beginning the first of 4 games this week, Matt. And we've got some real opportunities ahead of us. Today we are taking on the Mount Vernon Mountaineers with a record of 3-8, having beat Cassville 14-9 last week, and also beating a Parkview team. They beat them 9-0. So we're pretty excited about the opportunities to play them. The Cats went on the road on Saturday and took one on the chin, and that's obviously going to happen. We had the ball game tied with the Southside Fort Smith School, and it was tied 1-1 through 6 innings, and we let one get away from us. But, hey, that's all right. That's what baseball's all about, and as we said, we've got a lot of ball to play this week.
Yep, we sure do.
Yeah, so we're excited about this. Kyle Schaff is the head coach. This is his first year, but he's been with the program as an assistant for the last 3 years. Now, they finished district runner-up in the 24 campaign, and they had a record of 17-11. They're returning 7 seniors this year and a trio of pitchers, one of who is also starting catcher, and that's Brandon Dobson, and we'll see him back behind the plate today as well. He has a chance. Last year he set the school one-season hitting record with 48 hits, and he is on track to break the school's career hitting record before the year's over with. Coach Schaff says that they struggled a little bit with pitching last year, but they've continued to improve at the plate and improving defensively as well. Beautiful, beautiful day for ball. It looks like that the flag is kind of flipping back and forth over there. Looks like from our standpoint, from left field over to right field is somewhat of a crosswind, but we've come to expect that, haven't we?
Yeah, I was just checking on that. We got a flag over here blowing one way and a flag over there blowing the other way.
Yeah, we really do.
But anyway, yeah, it's definitely 14 miles an hour. That's what the old phone's saying here.
Yeah, and this is a busy, busy place. We've got this ball game getting ready to start here in a few minutes. We've got girls practicing softball over on the softball field, and we've got a girls soccer game getting ready to start here in a little bit. And all the way back behind us is some 7th and 8th graders practicing baseball. Yep. So this complex is certainly being used. Hey, you're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
People's Bank of Seneca, we care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, we've dedicated to providing excellent customer service across the 4-state area, ensuring that every experience is exceptional. Visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. Learn more at peoplesbankofseneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
The Neosho R5 School District is committed to shaping the future, one student at a time. From academics to athletics, we empower our students to reach their full potential, installing values of hard work, teamwork, and integrity. We would like to thank you for tuning in to the broadcast today and cheering on our Wildcats. Our dedicated teachers, staff, and coaches work hand in hand to provide a well-rounded education that prepares students for success. Together, we're building a brighter tomorrow for our community. The Neosho R5 School District, where excellence thrives.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
Hi, I'm Pastor Jeremy Bridges with the Canopy Church, and I want to take 30 seconds today to encourage you to pray. Because our prayers have the power to move heaven. James 5 says the prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. When we pray, God listens. When we pray, situations can change. When we pray, miracles can happen. And heaven moves on our behalf, simply because we pray. Take some time today and pray. For KNEO Radio, I'm Jeremy Bridges.
Being a Lion comes with a reputation for excellence. Whether it's in the classroom, on the court, or in the community, Lions are leading the way. With innovative and immersive academic programs, new scholarship opportunities, and a campus committed to the future, now is the perfect time to find your purpose. Find your pride at Missouri Southern State University.
Compton CPA Group PC, located at 112 Northwood in Neosho, is a full-service accounting firm and is proud to support the Neosho Wildcats. Compton CPA Group PC can assist you at every stage of your financial life and help you work toward your financial goals. From tax preparation to bookkeeping services, Compton CPA Group PC has you covered. For all your tax and business affairs, call 417-451-2932 or learn more at ComptonCPAGroup.com.
And welcome back to the Marion Family Complex. We're at the Roy B. Schaefer Stadium, and let's talk about our Cats for just a little bit longer, Matt. Cats come in with a record of 12-2. As we said, they lost a heartbreaker when they went down to Fort Smith on Saturday. They broke an 8-game winning streak, which, to my recollection, is among the bigger winning streaks in the history of the Neosho Wildcats. We're also 3-0 as far as conference is concerned, which puts us almost at the top. And you've got the Class 6, District 6 rankings right there. Where are we at there?
Yeah, I do. We've got 3 teams that have won 12 games. We've got Neosho, of course, Nixa, and Ozark. And Neosho just happens to be ahead of them by 5.71% as far as all that goes. Like I said, we only lost 2 games, and the other 2 teams have only lost 4, or they've lost 4. So,
and we get a chance to play Ozark Thursday night, don't we?
Yep, we're heading there.
Now, well, that ball game will start at 4:30. We will be on site for that game. We probably will start the pregame show about 4 o'clock. It's going to be exciting. We've been to that ballpark before. It's kind of an old ballpark by nature. Talked with Yancey Little, who's the director of athletics over there, and he says they're building a new field, so just hang with him. So I'm anticipating the field that we play on is going to have its own kind of things going on. Cats have had some real victories of late. They also, in the midst of what we're doing, we are number 8 in the state as far as Class 6 is concerned, so that's pretty exciting in itself. Here's a pretty good statistic, Matt. I knew that we were doing well, but in 11 ball games, and that's as far as the statistic goes, we have stolen 87 bases.
Yeah.
And in 12 ball games, we have scored 142 runs and given up only 45. Let me say that again, because that was not a misstatement. In 12 ball games, we've scored 142 and we've given up only 45, which ranks right up there with some of the top teams as far as the states are concerned. Thursday's ball game included a 3-hit performance. And this was the ball game that we're talking about where we went to Glendale. A 3-hit performance by Nichols and Smith, including another home run by Cannon. Candace had 3 home runs so far. My understanding, he was in Springfield today for an FFMLA meeting, and they had to run up and get him and bring him back for the ball game and turn around and take him back. So he's a busy feller.
Yeah,
and then again, we'll be here tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We will be here tomorrow night, and we're taking on Kickapoo, which will be another COC ball game. So by the time this week is out, we will have played 2 more COC teams. And if we are very, very fortunate and win those ball games, that could put us up at the top of the COC by a pretty good margin. Right now, what you're seeing is the Cats out on the infield. They're taking a little bit of infield, and they're getting things going. The Cats come in, as we said, with a record of 12-2. We're going to take another timeout, and we're going to thank some of our sponsors. We're grateful for every sponsor we've got. Some of those sponsors are State Farm agent Eric Norris, who, by the way, sponsors Keys for the Cats. We also want to thank Joe Ringstaff. He's your financial advisor at Edward Jones Family Market. Josh Dodson, he's your Farm Bureau agent. A new sponsor, Affordable Propane, Edgewood Bowl, and Big Nickel. We're going to take another timeout. This timeout is in the pregame show. It's being brought to you by ProLube, the Tire and Auto Maintenance Center, and we will be right back after this. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
You've got to have someone that understands what you are doing as a mission. Community bankers are important that way because they understand the community relationships that we have to form to be successful.
I feel like First Community Bank and Myers-Davis, our cultures are so similar. It is all about relationships.
It's a real boon to our community to have a bank like First Community to be supportive of so many things.
They're willing to take a chance on entrepreneurs, which is helpful to make the community grow.
The Oxford Dictionary defines mercy as compassion or forgiveness shown towards someone who should rightfully be punished. Billy Graham talked about the mercy that freed him from a punishment he deserved.
I deserve the wrath of God. I'm a sinner. I deserve judgment in hell. But I'm not going to spend one day in hell. Not because I have preached to people or because I've read the Bible or because I go to church.
But if it's not good works that spare us from punishment, what does?
Jesus was enduring the wrath of God that you and I deserve. It's because of Jesus on the cross.
Now, it's up to you to accept the mercy that Jesus Christ offers. He's alive today, and you can know him personally, and we can help. Call us at 855-255-PRAY. 855-255-PRAY. We're the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
Sam Gorham and Aaron Mitchell are your specialty risk insurance agents for Neosho and the surrounding area. They've been involved in Neosho sports since their own high school days and know the importance of athletic competition and how it teaches students life lessons every day. For all your home, auto, life, farm, ranch, and crop insurance needs, call Sam Gorham today at 417-850-5116 or Aaron Mitchell at 417-483-8337. You can also learn more online at specialtyriskinsuranceagency.com. Go Wildcats!
At ProLube Tire and Auto Center, we know what it means to rely on your vehicle. We race all year and know how to get that extra inch out of every part. Precision, quality, and reliability are not just words to us. It's what we do every day. We know you rely on your vehicle to perform for your family. From oil changes to full-on repairs, ProLube gives you the best racetrack team experience, so you can be worry-free.
ProLube Tire and Auto Center, where we get it right on the road and the track.
Southwest Missouri Bank in Neosho serves the Neosho area from 2 locations. They offer business banking services including checking and savings accounts, business loans, and electronic banking. Learn more online at smbonline.com. Southwest Missouri Bank, a proud sponsor of community broadcasting on KNEO, equal housing lender, member FDIC, where their slogan is Southwest Missouri Bank, we can do that.
I am a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm here to talk about life, your dreams, your work, your family, and how you can protect it all with a company that will talk to you with the honesty of a farmer and take care of you with the integrity of a neighbor. I'll make sure no detail is left uncovered so your family can breathe easy. Because just like you, I chose to build a life in Missouri too. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm from Missouri for life.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
And welcome back to the Marion Family Complex. John Ball, Matt Ball with you, and we are getting ready, Matt. Let's do the Keys to the Cats, okay?
Okay. Keys for the Cats is sponsored by State Farm agent Eric Norris in Neosho, located at 437 West Kohler Street, Neosho. Eric and his team offer a variety of insurance services for individuals and businesses. Learn more online at ericnorrisinsurance.com or by the phone at 417-451-6666. Let's go Wildcats.
All right, and keys to the Cats, we start off with the letter C for Cats. That stands for, get ready for this, communication, camaraderie, commitment, confidence, and coachability. Now, those are the 5 keys to success, and these Cats have literally got them all. I recall a ball being hit to left field and everybody giving chase, and Jaden Fisher, the second baseman, leaves his position, goes all the way over to cover third. That's just some of the fruits of a ball club that works really, really hard because it was automatic. Coach called that baseball IQ. A stands for after hours. Tuesday night when we left the ballpark here, I noticed there were 3 people hanging out, still hanging around. Coach Osborne, Brody Crane, and Canton Smith. They were willing to put in the extra time for Crane and Smith to get better battery relationships, and Coach Osborne there just trying to make them better. T, that stands for total sacrifice. It's guys like McInturf and Jennings who can hit the ball and hit a long way, but they're willing to take a free pass because they're so disciplined at the plate. That comes from practicing 2-strike hitting and covering the plate. And S stands for not being satisfied. This team is reaching for the stars and will not be satisfied until they reach one. The team culture is depending upon one another and leading this team to greater heights. Coach Kilgore says their slogan is not me, but we.
Absolutely.
Not me, but we. And we're certainly excited to be able to do that. And that's what Keys to the Cats is all about. Brought to you by Eric Norris. He's your State Farm agent in Neosho. We're going to take another time out. We'll be back with the starting lineups, and we've got something a little bit interesting, and I'll give you a key to that right now. We've got 2 pitchers out on the mound. One of them for the Mountaineers is Brody Wilmoth. The pitcher on the mound for the Cats is Brody Arthur.
Yeah.
The shortstop for Neosho is Hudson Williams, and the shortstop for the Mountaineers is Hudson Gaddy, which is just pretty interesting in itself. Hey, we're going to take another time out, and we'll be back. We'll be getting this ball game started here in just a few minutes. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
At Calvary Neosho, we aren't your grandmother's church, because she lives in Akron, Ohio, and that would be a terribly long commute for church. But if she did live in Neosho, we at Calvary would be delighted to have her come visit us. And since you live here, we would definitely like you to come visit us. Then, when your Nana comes to visit for Christmas, you can bring her to church and introduce us to her. We're sure she is a delightful lady. You can find us at Facebook /Calvary Neosho, or join us in person at 3650 Oak Ridge Extension. We gather for worship Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Calvary Neosho. Not your grandma's church, but we'd sure like to meet her.
Hi, I'm Barry Reel with First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho, and I want to give you some encouragement today. None of us are perfect, but sometimes we feel like we have messed our lives up so badly that even God can't fix us or help us. I want to assure you that's not the case. In Romans 8:28, we read that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. That means that God can even use your mistakes to do good in your life. I want to encourage you to trust God and let Him give you peace about your past, a purpose in your present, and hope for your future. With KNEO Radio, this is Barry Reel.
Locally owned, operated, and here for you. Check out the new face of the Neosho Daily News, covering Newton County, highlighting area residents, businesses, school news, sports, and more. Find us on Facebook at Neosho Daily News or call 417-451-1520. Go get 'em, Wildcats!
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
And welcome back to a busy Marion Family Complex. John Ball, Matt Ball with you. We're at the Roy B. Schaefer Stadium getting ready for a baseball game between our Neosho Wildcats and the Mountaineers from Mount Vernon. Over to the right of us is a soccer game that is getting ready to be under play. If they're not ready to go, they're just practicing, getting ready to go. Back over here to the left of us on the softball field is the junior high softball, and all the way back behind us is the junior high baseball. So let's go with the starting lineups. What do you say, Matt?
Let's do it.
We are ready for the Mountaineers. They will be the visiting team. They have a record of 3-8. Kyle Schaff is their head coach in his first year. Their record last year was 17-11. Brandon Dobson, senior catcher, will be number 1. Zurich Fan is playing right field, and he is batting number 2. Gavin Johnson plays left field. He wears number 10, and he will be batting 3rd. In the 4-hole, number 25 is Adrian Tennyson, and he is the first baseman. In the 5-hole, number 25, Hudson Gaddy playing shortstop. In the 6th spot is Jax Evans. He wears number 2, and he'll be playing second base. He'll be followed by Braden Jamison, who is the DH tonight. And the 8 hitter is not only number 1, but he'll be out on the mound, and that is Brady Wilmoth. And then the first, Peyton Jones will also be there, and he is the last hitter, and he is also playing on third base. So then it'll be the top of the batting order. Again, after that, we do not have their flex player, but we will get that as the ball game gets underway. For your Neosho Wildcats, coming in with a record of 12-2, head coach is Coach Keith Kilgore. The athletic trainer is Brian Bonds. Kilgore is assisted by Drew Osborne, Jacob Galbraith, and Marcus Crawford. Managers are Stella Barrett, Grace Morgan, Quinlan Depew, and Raiden Langford. So we've got plenty of managers as well, and we start off the same way we have. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Senior and the spark plug on the ball club, wearing number 24, is Finn Versluis. He'll be playing in center field. Third baseman Jaden Nichols, wearing number 11, will be second. Canton Smith, with 3 home runs to his credit, has been moved up into the batting order to get him a few more hits. He'll be catching tonight. The sophomore that plays left field will be Drake Jennings. Senior Lim McInturf, the big first baseman, is hitting in the 5 spot. In the 6 hole, number 4, Brody Crane playing right field. He's followed by Jaden Fisher, who wears number 2 and plays second base. Hudson Williams will be playing shortstop. The designated hitter is Alex Rodriguez. Pitching on the mound for the Cats is Brody Arthur. Brody has had about 3 full game appearances, none that we've seen, because one of them was down in Florida when they were down there, and then he pitched against Springdale on a Saturday that we did not cover. First time we actually saw him was over at Pittsburgh, and he came in relief of Boston Patterson, who pitched a fine ball game, but it gave an opportunity for him to get some work in, and he had a 1-2-3 inning, and it was out of the way. So we're excited to see the lefty on the mound. We saw him last year, and he would come in sporadically. He had some full-time opportunities, too. Played a little bit of first base, played a little bit of left field as well. So we'll get this ball game underway here in just a few minutes. We're going to take another time out, and then we will be back, and we'll get this ball game underway just about the time that Dave Marty, the public address announcer, gets everybody lined out with the lineups. Then we'll get this ball game underway. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Joe Ringstaff, your Neosho Edward Jones financial advisor, understands this. That's why Joe Ringstaff is a proud sponsor of the Neosho Wildcats on KNEO. For all your investment needs, call 417-451-7789 or stop by the office at 2502 Lusk Drive, Suite D in Neosho. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
This is Pastor Barry Reel from the First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho. Though our culture seems to be rejecting the idea of truth, we remain committed to obeying God's Word by speaking the truth in love. We would love to share God's truth and love with you. We're located at 960 Burr Crossing Road in Neosho, and we meet on Sunday mornings at 10:45 a.m. and then again on Sunday and Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Find us on Facebook at First Free Will Baptist Neosho or call 918-413-5465.
I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm for working hard for what you get and then protecting what you've got. Your home, your vehicles, your life. I'm for making an honest living and taking pride in what you do, and for giving back to the community I call home. I'm for serving my clients with the respect and dignity you would expect from the farmers that started this company. And though I know you probably hope you never need me, I'm here for you when you do. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're a Missourian, I'm for you.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
And welcome back to the Marion Family Complex. Dave Marty's getting ready to announce the starters for the Mount Vernon Mountaineers. While he's doing that, there's all of a sudden been a change in the Cats lineup, and we will bring those changes to you. But right now, it looks like Brody Crane will be the DH, and Alex Rodriguez will be out in right field. He certainly is no stranger to playing several different positions. A-Rod plays the outfield, but he also comes in and he closes out as a pitcher as well. So we're getting ready to move forward, and we're going to get these folks out here and get going. And looks like the Mount Vernon is coming out, and they're going to line up. We will have the national anthem, and we're ready to go. And the Neosho Wildcats are being announced now. At game time, it is, 68 degrees, Matt? And the wind's about 14 miles an hour out of the south-southwest just a little bit. The Cats are not coming. They will go on out to the field here in just a minute, and we will be ready to go. Well, we've got just a little bit of technical difficulties over here with a PA system, and the players are not coming out. We're trying to things slow down just a little bit. And we announce Brody Arthur, who is...
Need to turn up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and with that rendition of the national anthem, and you couldn't see it from here, but over on the soccer field, they stopped to play to stand at attention, and over here at the softball field, they stopped to play to stand at attention for the national anthem. What a great display of honoring our country, Matt.
It's a beautiful song and beautiful people out here on a beautiful day.
It is. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Canton Smith goes out. As we said, he was in Springfield a little bit earlier with the FFMLA meeting. They brought him home to play the ball game, and they'll take him back tonight, and then he'll be back here again. He shakes hands with the home plate umpire, and Brody Arthur, number 22, is out on the mound for the Cats, and he's taking his warm-ups. Cats need to get off to a good start in this ball game. After a ball game like they had the other day, which Coach Kilgore said we didn't play bad. The other team just played a tad better. And I think several of our Cats are excited about straightening the ship up just real quick. So we may see the Cats do exactly what we've seen them do so far, which is get on base, use their speed to get around the bases, be disciplined at home plate, and a defense that has had numerous double play balls throughout the year so far in just our early 13 ball games now. Arthur's got a little bit of a curve ball. It's a natural curve being a left-hander, but then he's got a little bit of a curve that will bounce back and a little bit of a sinker. So he's got at least 3 pitches that we know of. That natural curveball, a fastball that curves, but he's also got that sinker, and he mixes those pitches up real well. Tomorrow night we will have Kickapoo here, and Kickapoo will have another southpaw on the mound. In fact, it's one of the better pitchers in the conference. He was unanimous all first team pitcher last year, and we're excited to get that ball game going. That will be our first COC ball game of the week this week, and then we'll have another one a little bit later on in the week when we travel to Ozark, who's no slouch in themselves. They are 12-4, and as Matt said earlier, as far as district is concerned, they are certainly right up there in the top as well. First batter is Braden Dodson, the second baseman, and he fouls the first one back, and it's out of play over there on the soccer field for strike one. Arthur, like a lot of Neosho pitchers, pitches from the stretch. He doesn't think much about the windup. Here comes his second pitch underway, and that ball is going to be foul almost over into the bullpen for Mount Vernon. Wind blowing just a little bit helped it, but that ball was carrying over there anyway. So no balls and 2 strikes on Dodson, the senior catcher for Mount Vernon. Arthur looks down. He gets ready to go into a stretch, and here's the next pitch, high and outside for a ball. So the count's now a ball and 2 strikes. Infield is basically playing straight away. Comes the next pitch underway, and that's fouled off back and the count will remain the same. A ball and 2 strikes. And I would anticipate one of the things that Mount Vernon is going to see what they can do the best of is try to run us out of pitching arms, knowing that we've got 4 ball games this week. Here comes the next pitch, and that's going to be a ground ball. Hudson Williams has it. He gets the ball over to first, and the ball is dropped, and the runner's safe.
We just need to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, great play by Williams that time, and he got the ball over there. It was going to be a bang play anyway, but Dodson is on first. Here's Zurich's Pham. He plays right field. Arthur looks down at first base, and looks like a no. What a great throwback to first base that Canton Smith had, but Dodson was able to slide around the other side of it. The ball was there in plenty of time, and it was a looked like a bunt, but he pulled back at the last minute, and it was a ball. Arthur looking. Here comes the next pitch. And there's another ball low. Ball 2. Mount Vernon's got something going here in the top half of the first inning. There's still plenty of time to come on out and support your Wildcats. We'll have several ball games here this week. Come out and watch these kids. They love the game, and they love to play in front of their hometown crowd. Arthur back over to McInturf, just kind of a little bit of a pick-off, more to let Dodson, the catcher for the other team, know, hey, I'm there. He takes a pretty good lead off, and here comes the next pitch, and there's a call, strike 1. So Zurich Fan has threatened to bunt 3 times. He's pulled back twice for a ball. He pulled back that time, and it was a strike right down the middle. Arthur looks over at first base, gets ready, makes a throw over there. Dodson back in plenty of time. There wasn't a lot of steam on that. I think that was just kind of a little bit of a cat and mouse game, Matt.
Well, it looks like to me they're trying to put him in one.
Yeah.
See if he'll go.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Here comes the next pitch, and that's swung on, strike 2, and that was a bunt that just missed. So the count's now even at 2-2. And a runner on first base for Mount Vernon. First of the ball game, first inning. We're glad to have you with us. But come on out here. There's plenty of time. And there's the next pitch, and it swung on, and it got the runner. And the runner gets on to second base. But there's the first strikeout of the side. And here's Gavin Johnson, the left fielder. We've not seen a lot of these guys. We know that they've won their last 2 ball games. As we said, we're going to have a pinch runner now, and that pinch runner is going to be number 14.
That is Cash Garner.
Cash Garner, well, freshman, is over at second base. Johnson steps in. He bats right-handed. Here comes the first pitch from Brody Arthur. And there was a solid ball hit out to right field, and it was caught for the out, but the runner tags up and goes on to third base. So there's 2 outs now. And here's the big first baseman, Adrian Tennyson. The runner on third base, but if we get this one, it'll all be for naught, and we'll come back and the Cats have a chance to rattle the bats. Arthur's probably not going to pay much attention. Well, no, that's not true. I guess that ball was not caught. My mistake. We thought from the looks of things that it was, but it was not. So Garvin is on first base with a base hit. And Dodson is at third base, or his pinch runner is. And there's a ball low and inside. Tennyson is the first baseman, runner on first and third. Here comes the next pitch. And that's goes right to first base, over to second base, and got the double play ball, and we're out of the inning. Great job by the Wildcats. Woo! So that was a 3-6-3 double play, and the Cats are out of the inning just like that. But they strand one at third base. At the end of 1/2 inning of play, the score is 0-0. Your Neosho Wildcats coming up to bat. We're going to take time out for this, and we'll be back. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm for working hard for what you get and then protecting what you've got. Your home, your vehicles, your life. I'm for making an honest living and taking pride in what you do, and for giving back to the community I call home. I'm for serving my clients with the respect and dignity you would expect from the farmers that started this company. And though I know you probably hope you never need me, I'm here for you when you do. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're a Missourian, I'm for you.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
Hi, I'm Sam O'Neill with Affordable Propane of Neosho. From setting tanks to refilling them, we offer a full spectrum of service to meet your every need. We serve Neosho and surrounding areas, and we are committed to giving you better service at better prices. Give us a call today, 417-437-8927. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Marion Family Complex, and we've seen the Wildcats throw some double plays out there, but that was really showed their expertise and showed their ability. McIntyre catches the ball, throws it to shortstop Hudson Williams, who's on second base, and turns around and throws the ball to McIntyre for the double play. Now the runner on first, we said originally, because we could not see left field, we thought that we saw the reaction of the players that that ball had been caught, but apparently it was not. So we apologize for that. Anyway, no harm, no foul. There's a runner left on third base. Here come the Cats. Here's Finn Versluis. Versluis is one of those guys that has the ability to manufacture runs, and when I say that, we've seen it more times than not. He has gotten on first base or maybe even second base, gone to third base, and come on home by an overthrow. He stands in there. He's ready to go. There's the first pitch from Brody Wilmoth, and it's a swung on strike one. Wilmoth turns. He pitches from a wind-up, and that ball is low. That's going to even the count at 1-1. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. There's still plenty of time for you to get out here and watch these Neosho Wildcats. Here comes the next pitch, and that was a little bit of a change-up and just almost at the shoulders, the top of the strike zone for strike two. And here's where Versluis does his best damage with two strikes. Here comes a pitch, and he fouls that one back. How many pitches did we throw that first inning?
13.
Yeah, so Arthur got out of the inning pretty well with just 13 pitches. Brody Wilmoth, here comes the pitch. Hit him. So Versluis gets on first base, not the way he desired, but he desires to get on base regardless. So he'll do that. So by hit pitch. And here's Jaden Nichols. Jaden had a pretty good ball game the other night against Glendale. He had a 3-hit performance in the 12-8 victory for the Cats. As did Canton Smith, had a single, and then he had a home run as well. Versluis looks over at the pitcher, and he's bouncing around over there on first base. Here comes the first pitch, and it gets past the catcher. No, it hit him. Hit him. Okay, so hit him. So Versluis goes to second. Nichols goes to first with a hit pitch. And, here is Brent Jennings. That's change things around as we go, I guess. Drake Jennings, who normally bats in the fourth hole. And it looks like, and there's the first pitch, and it's in there for call strike one. And that is number 34, Canton Smith, will be batting in the fourth hole. There's the next pitch, and there's call strike two. So after hitting a couple of batters, Wilmoth is starting to settle in just a little bit.
I think you want to see if our guys are going to jump, but they're not going to.
No. And that's on the inside for a ball. As we said in Keys to the Cats, Jennings is another one of those guys that is very disciplined. He loves to hit the ball, but he knows the value of taking a walk as well, getting runners in scoring position. And there's another one high and inside for a ball. That evens the count at 2-2. Canton Smith, Lim McInturf, and Brody Crane up for the Cats. Runners on first and second. No outs. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. And they got him. Swung right through it for strike 3. So here's Canton. Jennings stopped for just a minute to say something to Canton, and now Canton steps in there. Runners on first and second. There is a big hole out in right center field. Canton looks like he's gonna bunt. He steps in there and starts out that way. And last time we saw him do that, he reared back and knocked the ball over the left field fence. Wilmoth looks around. There's his first, and there's a solid ball hit out into center field, and it's going to drop. And we get runners all the way around, and here comes Versluis, and he's going to score. And the runner on third base, and he is out. McKinnon goes ahead to second base, but the Cats have scored one run in Versluis. And Jaden Nichols gets thrown out at second base, third base in the midst of that. So there's 2 outs, and Canton is on second base. Wind just kept that ball up in the air, and it was a little difficult at first to figure out exactly what was going on. And there is a pinch runner now, and that is Boston Patterson. Will be running for Canton so he can get in and get his gear on and get ready to go. McInturf, the first baseman, and once again we said he's another one of those disciplined ball players. He can hit the ball, and he's got some pop on his bat.
He's a power hitter, that's for sure.
No doubt about it, but it does not bother him to take a walk. Cats are up by one score, 1-0. Versluis comes around to score on a double by Canton Smith, and there's a ball low. Just to show you what kind of speed Versluis had, he thought that ball was going to be caught. He was almost to third base, went all the way almost back to second base, came on to third base, rounded, and came home. There was an off-speed pitch on the inside for ball 2 to Lim McInturf. Looks like with 2 outs that Wilmoth is concentrating on the batter and the batter only, and there's a ball that is fouled off over towards the Wildcats dugout. So that'll make the count 2 balls and a strike. Cats have had some good opportunities this inning. Let's see if we can't come up and make good on another one right here. There's a ball low and outside. McInturf looked like he wanted a piece of that, but nothing doing. He stopped there. Cats have got 2 outs. And Wilmoth on the mound. He looks back. Here comes his next pitch, and that's high. And that's ball 4. So McInturf goes to first base. Here's Brody Crane. He pitched a big part of the ball game against Southside down in Fort Smith on Saturday. Holds that bat way up in the air. There's the first pitch, and he's swung on, and that's going to be fouled back out of play. You know, Matt, there is still a big, what I call power alley between right and center field.
Yes, there is.
Crane got a hold of that one and fouled it back out of the way. Here comes Wilmoth's next pitch, and that's going to be a ball outside. Evens count at 1-1. Wilmoth looks back at second base. Here comes the pitch underway. And it looks like that they're going to try to. We've got Boston Patterson right in the middle of a deal, but he makes it back in plenty of time. A little bit of a hot box there, and the ball was overthrown. I don't think the third baseman got it, and that allowed Patterson to get back. So there's 2 balls and a strike. Two outs. If Crane could connect with one, that'll be at least 1. Patterson has some speed. He's jumping back and forth just a little bit. There it is, and that is connected, and that ball may be out of here. And it looks like it, and it's...
See ya.
See ya. Gone. And there we go. Brody Crane. Looked like that ball was gone from the very beginning. So that is a 3-run homer. Cats are now up by a score of 4-0.
Woo! I'll just tell you, I'm excited here today.
That was an exciting ball. That ball towered, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
And it did not have any help from the wind. In fact, it went through the wind.
Yeah, it did. It just kept flying and going.
Bases are empty. There's 2 outs, and here's Jaden Fisher. But that you could tell from the time that ball came off of the bat that was gone.
Yeah, you sure could.
Jaden Fisher, Hudson Williams, and A-Rod. And there is a ball hit back to second baseman, and Fisher is going to make it tough, but that's going to retire the side. So a 4-3 out, but the Cats score. They score big with 4 runs, one of them thanks to a yard hit by Brody Crane that brought in 3 runs. Cats are up by a score of 4-0. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
We all have those days where we don't want to get up. But when we have true discipline and choose to rise up, we become the best version of ourselves. To start your journey today, visit risefitnesscenter.com.
Today's Wildcat game is brought to you by Edgewood Bowling Center of Neosho, Missouri. Located at 2811 Gardner Edgewood Drive, they now have new synthetic lanes for adult and children bowling leagues and a smoke-free environment. They also have a certified pro shop and hosting for private parties. They offer Cosmic Glow Bowling on Fridays and Saturdays after 8 p.m. To learn more about Edgewood Bowling Center and their leagues for adults and children, the phone number is 417-451-4505.
And welcome back to the Marion Family Complex. Neosho Wildcats with 1 inning out of the way are up by a score of 4-0, largely on 2 hits, a double by Canton Smith. We had 2 hit batters, and then the towering home run by Brody Crane. Here is Hudson Gaddy, the shortstop. He steps in, and here comes the first pitch, and it's high and outside for a ball. And it looks like that's going to be fouled off, or that's a ball outside. And looks like Wilmoth is back in the bullpen. Maybe he wants to work on a little something. He wasn't real sure what was going on, but he is the pitcher of record right now. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a called strike. So 2 balls and a strike, and we're in the top half of the 2nd inning. Hudson Gaddy, the senior shortstop, and there's another breaking pitch. It was just a little high, and that'll make the count 3-1. Arthur looks down. Here comes the next pitch, and there's ball 4. So Gaddy gets on by way of a walk. And here's Jax Evans, the second baseman. I'll tell you, as far as stature is concerned, looks like that Mount Vernon is not quite coming as tall as the Wildcats, but they stand right in there ready to go. And there is a first bat that is a bunt, and it goes over, and we get the out, and the runner goes on to second base. So the lead down bunt was perfect, but there was an out of 1-3. And here's Braden Jamison, the DH. Steps in. He's a rather good-sized young man. Looks like he could hit the ball a long ways, doesn't he? Yeah. Arthur looks back at second base, looks back at second base again. Here comes a pitch, and it's high for a ball. I believe that was his heater that time, and it just got a little bit away from him. One out, and it's the top half of the second inning, a runner on second base. Here comes the next pitch from Arthur, and there's a call strike. Took a little something off of that, and it looked like it might have been a little bit of a screwball.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really did. So the count's even at 1-1. Next pitch underway, and that's fouled off and goes up to the top of the backstop and comes right back down. So the count's a ball and 2 strikes. There is 1 out. He looks things over. Brody looks back. But here comes the next pitch underway, and that one's a little bit outside, and that'll even the count. That'll make the count 2-2. Looks over at second base. Here comes the next pitch underway, and that's a curveball. Swung on strike 3. Got him. There's the second out of the side, and here comes pitcher Brody Wilmoth. Has a chance to help himself, and we're seeing now that there is can't see how far that is. My old glasses won't let me, but there's a working the bullpen over there for the Mountaineers. I believe that's number 22. There's the first pitch, and there is a high pop fly. A-Rod is underneath it. He makes the catch, and the side's retired. So it was the best the Cats could have come up with that time, and Peyton Jones still has yet to play. We move into the bottom half of the second inning. And the Neosho Wildcats are up by a score of 4-0. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and the Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
KNEO would like to thank the Big Nickel for sponsoring this portion of broadcasting on 91.7 FM. The Big Nickel is an advertising shopper for thousands of different items, from automobiles and livestock to help wanted and real estate. It covers a 70-mile radius in the 4-state area and is available in area businesses each week. Located at 1931 East 20th Street, Suite 103 in Joplin, Missouri. Their telephone number is 417-624-4100.
Insurance Benefits Consultants now has 2 locations to serve you. They're located at 1009 South Neosho Boulevard in Neosho and at 701 Northwest McNelly Road in Bentonville, Arkansas. They are proud supporters of the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. They provide Medicare and Medicaid supplemental policies, as well as life, health, and group health insurance plans from companies like Allstate and Colonial. For more information, call 417-451-4244 or in Arkansas, 479-431-5226.
Welcome back to the Marion Family Complex, bottom half of the second inning. And here's Alex Rodriguez. Then it's the top of the batting order. And that'll be Finn Versluis and Jaden Nichols. Versluis came around and got hit by a pitch, so did Nichols, and Versluis came on around to score. There's Rodriguez. And there's the first pitch, and it's in there for a call, strike 1.
Oh, got a hold of it.
Oh, got in there. There we go. And there's the opening hit for Rodriguez. And now here's number 1, Hudson Williams. I was looking down trying to change things around just a little bit. Looks like Cats have really changed things a little bit. But here's Hudson Williams. He swirls his bat around a little bit, and he steps in, got a wide batting stance. Rodriguez jumped off first base a little bit, got back in plenty of time. Here Here comes Wilma's first pitch, and Rodriguez is going and swung on, foul ball, strike one. That's too bad. Rodriguez had a great jump that time, didn't he? Yeah.
He sure did. He was almost, well, I want to say about 3/4 of the way there.
Yeah, he sure was. But obviously, Coach Kilgore had hit and run on, and Hudson had to take a cut at it. No balls and a strike, no outs, a runner on first base for the Cats, bottom of the second inning. And there's another one swung through for strike two. Hudson may have helped him out a little bit there, swinging at a lower outside pitch. Wilmoth looks back over at first base. And here he goes. And looks like he is. Got there and, he got him. Sure did. So, nice throw by the catcher. Gets the running Rodriguez to second base for the first out of the side. Now Hudson stands back in with a ball and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch from Wilmoth. And that gets away from the catcher. And that evens the count at 2-2. Well, we see that Braden Dodson does have an arm, doesn't he, Matt?
Yeah, he does.
And there is a ball hit to right field, and it is right fielder's got it for the second out of the side. Good idea. Wind carried it just a little bit, but there is the second out. Here's the top of the batting order. Finn Versluis, he got hit by a pitch and came on around to score in the first inning. It'll be Jaden Nichols, Drake Jennings, and Canton Smith. Here's the first pitch. It looks like it's going to be a bunt, and it's going to be a good bunt, and there's no way that the first baseman is going to get there. He's safe. Yeah, the first baseman was stepping off the bag when the pitcher caught the ball, and Versluis' speed is going to put him on with a base hit. Surprise, surprise, a 2-out bunt produces a runner on first base. Wilmoth looking over at first base, and he knows that Versluis has seen his speed already. And there is a high pop-up that is several people are going for it. The right fielder, Fain, is under it and makes the catch. So the Cats don't do anything in that half, their half of the inning. And after 2 innings, the score is Neosho Wildcats 4 and the Mount Vernon Mountaineers 0. We're going to take time out for this. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Tally Tire at 18152 East Highway 86 is a proud supporter of local high school athletics. Tally Tire is your full-service car and truck headquarters. They carry name-brand tires such as Nexen, Mastercraft, and Uniroyal, ATC camper shells and bed covers, and do oil changes and tune-ups. Call Tally Tire today for all your automotive needs at 417-451-0457 or online at tallytire.com.
The law offices of Wood & Peterson is sponsoring this portion of Neosho Wildcat Athletics, located at 217 South Lafayette, Neosho, and 431 Virginia Avenue in Joplin. They serve Southwest Missouri with personal claim representation. For more information, the phone number is 417-451-4141 or online at neoshoattorney.com. The law offices of Wood & Peterson are proud supporters of the Neosho Wildcats.
Welcome back to the Marion Family Complex. We're on the Roy B. Shaver baseball field, and the ball is being thrown down. It goes to Hudson Williams. Hudson over to Fisher. Fisher back over to Nichols, and the ball goes in to Brody Arthur. How many pitches do you have last inning?
12. He pitched 12. That's 25 altogether.
That's 25 pitches so far, so that's not bad at all. Peyton Jones, the third baseman. First pitch is high for a ball. Arthur on the mound, he's thrown 25 pitches so far. There's the next one, and that's right down the middle for a call strike. That evens the count at 1-1. Here comes the next pitch from Arthur, and that one gets away from Canton Smith. 2 balls and a strike on the third baseman, Peyton Jones. Comes the next pitch, and that one's low and inside for a ball. That makes the count 3-1. Here comes Arthur with his next one, and that's high for a ball. So here's Braden Dobson. He got on by way of an error in the first inning and was stranded at third base. There's number 33 on his back, and he steps in and he toes the center line of the batter's box, and he crowds the plate, and there's a little bit of an off-speed pitch for ball 1. Arthur with a snap throw over to first base just to make sure that Jones is not going anywhere.
He's keeping his eye on him.
He is, sure is. Looks down at Canton, looks back, looks down at the catcher again. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a call strike. Nice pitch, nice pitch that just froze Dobson. So now the count's 1-1. Cats are still playing pretty well straight away for everybody, and there's a foul right back. So that'll make the count a ball and 2 strikes. Flag is just blowing just ever so gingerly out there at in center field. Now the wind's picking up just a little bit. Here comes Brody Arthur's pitch, and that's a ball outside. So the count's even at 2-2. Good place for the Cats to pick up another double play ball right here. And there's swung on, and that was a bounce ball that got the runner going over to second, and we got part of it. We got the front end of it. So Jones is out 5-4, and Dodson is on again, this time with a fielder's choice. Here's Zarek Dan, the right fielder. Went out and a throw back over to first base. Van struck out his first time up. Comes the next pitch, and there's a throw down to second base. Got him. Yes, sir. Great throw from Canton to Hudson in order to get the man, and just like that, the Cats have got 2 outs. So getting the first half of that double play ball was worth something. Came around and got him right back again. And there's the next pitch. It's high on the outside. There's the next pitch, and it's in there for call strike. Well, there's a ball and 2 strikes, and there's 2 outs. We're in the top half of the third inning. Here comes the next pitch from Arthur. And it's kind of a change-up, so to speak, and fooled him just a little bit, and he just kind of got a piece of it with his bat. Didn't really even swing at it that time.
Well, you get these left-handed guys, they throw a lot of slop anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Here comes Arthur's next pitch, and there's another foul ball. So we'll do her again. Arthur's determination out there on the mound is what is making this inning work the way it needs to for the Cats. And he's not willing to give up on anybody. Comes his next pitch, high for a ball. Full count, 2 outs. Top half of the third inning. Here comes the next pitch, and that hits the ground. So now it's a full count. It was 2-2. Now it's 3-2. So now it's a full count. Arthur looking down at Kenton Smith. Kenton gets the signals ready, and here we go. There's the next pitch. Swung on, got him. Strike 3. Great pitch that time by Arthur. So side goes down, almost in order. Nobody on base, and at the end of 2.5 innings of play, Neosho Wildcats up over the Mountaineers from Mount Vernon by a score of 4-0. We'll be right back after this. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
People's Bank of Seneca, we care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, we've dedicated to providing excellent customer service across the 4-state area, ensuring that every experience is exceptional. Visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. Learn more at peoplesbankofseneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Welcome back to the bottom half of the third inning. Drake Jennings, the sophomore left fielder for the Cats, will lead it off. He'll be followed by Canton Smith and Lynn McInturf, both of who scored in that first inning on a high home run ball by Brody Crane. And there's the first pitch in there for call strike 1. Here comes Wilmot's next pitch. That one's low and inside for a ball. There's a ball and a strike now on Jennings. Here comes the next pitch. And that's out low and outside for a ball. Count is 2-1. It looks like over here on the soccer field, the home team, Lady Wildcats, have scored once, and there's a ball that goes right back over that way. Woo-hoo. Onto the soccer field.
Heads up, folks.
Yeah,
Heads
up. The count is even now at 2-2. Jennings struck out his first time up, which is pretty uncharacteristic of him. And there's a ball on the outside. That'll make it a full count. So Brody Wilmoth on the mound for the Mountaineers has run the count full on Jennings, and he swung on and it struck out. So there is the first out of the evening. Here's Canton Smith, the catcher. Canton had a double his first time up. He steps in, he looks it over. I always feel better about Canton when he adjusts his headgear a little bit. And there's a ball that got past the catcher for ball 1. Wilmoth on the mound, how many pitches has he thrown?
49 was the last.
49 before the beginning of this inning.
Yeah, he's got 7 right now.
Okay. So he should be about halfway done. Canton looks like he hit that ball, and it's going way, way back. Center fielder's giving chase. He doesn't catch it. Canton has a good chance of going to third base, and he is going to third base. And he'll come in with a stand-up triple. Hard hit ball by Canton Smith, and we now have a runner in scoring position. So Canton's had a double and a triple for the Cats so far tonight. And here's Lynn McInturf. McInturf walked his first time up, then he came around to score. That ball just got behind the center fielder, and he never really had an opportunity to catch it. It was a well hit ball.
Yeah, it was. The wind had actually caught that, or it went yard.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's the first pitch from Wilmoth. Call strike on the outside corner.
Got A-Rod over here on third, pinch running for.
No, that is
Boston Patterson.
That's Boston Patterson, yeah. And there's a ball that's fouled back off. So Patterson, who normally is a pitcher, is getting a little bit of a workout, and he's coming in as a pinch runner. Here comes the next pitch, McInturf, and it's low and outside. Count now, a ball and 2 strikes. Here comes the next one, and that ball is hit to right field. It looks like it's going to be caught. It is, and Patterson is going to tag up, and he's going to score. So McInturf does his job. He hits a ball to right field, so there's a sac fly, and there's 2 outs, and here's Brody Crane. Brody's the DH tonight, and of course his first time up, he put the ball out of the ballpark. In fact, almost hit the bus over there.
Yeah, he did.
Out of the way. Here comes first pitch, and it's going to be a little bit of chin music for ball 1. Cats finish up here, and then we have Kickapoo tomorrow night. There is a ball that is hit hard, got in front of it just a little bit, and it's a foul ball for strike 1. But that was a ball that once again was a screamer. After Crane, it will be Jaden Fisher. Here comes Wilmoth's pitch, and he swung through it for a strike. A ball and a strike, or 2 strikes, and there's 2 outs. Here comes the next pitch, and he pops that one, hits that one way up in the air. Everybody giving chase. I'm not sure. Center fielder's in for it, and he makes the play. So wind is taking care of the ball just a little bit for the Cats, but the Cats do score 1 more, and at the end of 3, Neosho 5, and the Mountaineers from Mount Vernon 0. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
You've got to have someone that understands what you are doing as a mission. Community bankers are important that way because they understand the community relationships that we have to form to be successful.
I feel like First Community Bank and Myers Davis, our cultures are so similar. It is all about relationship.
It's a real boon to our community to have a bank like First Community to be supportive of so many things.
They're willing to take a chance on entrepreneurs, which is helpful to make the community grow.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you are growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
Johnson, Tennyson, and Gaddy in the top half of the 4th inning for the Mountaineers. Once again, the Cats are up by a score of 5-0. On the mound for the Wildcats is the southpaw, Brody Arthur, and he is just making the pitches he needs to make and doing a good job to keep the Mountaineers at bay. And there is a hard hit ball out to left field, and Got him
at
great,
second.
great play that time by Jennings out there to second base in order to make the play on a pitch that tried to stretch it out. So Gavin is out basically 7-4, and there is 1 out. Here's the 4-ball hitter, Tennyson, first baseman. There's a ball inside for strike 1. So we give Gavin Johnson a hit, base hit, but it gets thrown out. It's trying to stretch it into a double. Here comes the next pitch underway, and that's going to be a little bit low and inside for a ball. Here comes the next pitch, and swung through for strike one. Took a little something off of that one. So Arthur mixing his pitches up just real well, and he's keeping these Mountaineers stepping back. And there's a ball on the inside. And Tennyson, too, is crowding the plate pretty good with the 3-1 count, and there's one out. He takes a look over at the third base coach. Arthur from the stretch. Here comes a pitch. And there's a ball, and he walks. So here comes Hudson Gaddy, the shortstop. He got on by way of an error and was stranded at second base in the second inning. A few of the cats out there, cat loyals, are out there trying to. So there's a nice pitch, swung on for strike one. Getting some blankets out, it looks like. Maybe with his.
Kind of got lost there.
Yeah, just a little bit in the midst of that, we sure did, didn't we?
Yeah.
And Arthur is just pitching right along, and he's in line to continue in the ball game and go at least a long ways. Throw back over to first base in order to get Tennyson back. Arthur looks him over again, and here comes the next pitch. And there was and that ball got past and got out into center field and was picked up on a sliding stop by Versluis, but the runner gets to second base. So there's a stolen base, runner on second base, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes to Hudson Gaddy, the shortstop. Here comes the pitch, curveball swung on, strike 3. So Arthur gets his 3rd strikeout of the night, and now there's 2 outs. Here's Jax Evans, the second baseman. Arthur looks back for just a minute, but he's not going to pay a lot of attention. Here comes the first pitch through, and there was that little curveball right in there for call strike 1.
I think he bunted last time.
Yeah, he may very well. He was out 1-3, so that's exactly what happened. Here comes the next pitch, and that was low. Canton does everything he can to keep it in front of him, keep the runner intact over on second base. There's a ball and a strike and 2 outs. We're in the top half of the 4th inning. Jaden Fisher running over back and forth to second base, and Hudson Williams gets back behind the runner. There's a pitch, and there is a ball that is hit hard, and we're giving chase to get out there, and there's going to be a run scored. And Jax is actually going to end up at third base. So there's the first run of the ball game for Mountaineers, and that makes the score 5-1. And Evans gets around to third base. Hit that ball right into that power alley and kind of got behind both Rodriguez and Finn Versluis. Here's Brandon Jamison. He struck out his first time up, and there's the first pitch. It's high and outside for a ball. Here comes the next pitch. High and outside also. So the Mountaineers have answered back. The Cats picked up one in the bottom of the 3rd, and they've gotten their first run in the top of the 4th. Brody Arthur on the mound for the Cats. Here comes the next pitch. That's swung on for a strike. The count's now 2 balls and a strike to the designated hitter, Brandon Jamison. Jack's over on third base, just kind of standing there. There's the next pitch, and that's hit out to Jaden Fisher, up and over to McInturf, so that retires the side, but they do get one run scored. So the score now, after 4.5 innings of play, Neosho Wildcats 5, and the Mountaineers 1. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
Southwest Missouri Bank in Neosho serves the Neosho area from 2 locations. They offer business banking services including checking and savings accounts, business loans, and electronic banking. Learn more online at smbonline.com. Southwest Missouri Bank, a proud sponsor of community broadcasting on KNEO, equal housing lender, member FDIC, where their slogan is Southwest Missouri Bank, we can do that.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Jaden Fisher, Alex Rodriguez, and Hudson Williams will be up for the Cats in the bottom half of the 4th inning, and the Cats need to rattle some bats, Matt.
Yeah.
Now, how many pitches has Wilmoth got now?
65.
65, so I would assume that we'll see some action in the Mount Vernon bullpen. Here comes his first pitch to Fisher, and it's high and inside for a ball. Jaden steps in, he waits, here comes the next pitch, and that one's high and inside he thought, but curved in for a strike, so that evens the count at 1-1. Wilmoth just getting right after it. Comes the next pitch, and there's call strike 2. So Fisher very quickly has 2 strikes on him. He's going to have to choke up just a little bit and do that practice of that 2-strike hitting. And there's a ball low and outside. That'll even the count at 2-2. And ball right back up the middle would be a good ball right now. And Fisher fouls that one off. It's going to be back and over the top of the Mountaineers' dugout. And the count will remain the same. Alex Rodriguez will be up next. He had a double his first time up. That is a ball that is high and inside, and that runs the count full. After Rodriguez will be Hudson Williams, then it's the top of the batting order for the Cats. Here comes Wilmoth's next pitch, and there's ball 4. So Jaden works himself out of a 2-strike count and draws a walk. Here's Rodriguez. He got a single and then was called out trying to steal second base his first time up. Normally it's a DH and he pitches a little bit. Tonight he's playing in right field. Wilmoth looks down, and there goes Fisher, and he's got a huge jump, and he's there in plenty of time. Oh, he got him. Oh, great arm once again by Braden Dobson to get Fisher. So there's the first out, trying to steal second. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a high pop-up. Pitcher's trying to get underneath it. He calls for it, and he lets it. That gets past him. I guess the wind picked up just a little bit, but Tennyson thought that he had that ball and dropped right next to him. So, realistically, Rodriguez is on again with a hit. Because that was not touched. It dropped right in between the first baseman and second baseman. That's exactly right.
You got to be the one to call it and catch it.
Hudson Williams slide out to the right fielder. Pham, his first time up. Let me see Rodriguez try to see what kind of an arm Dobson's got again. He was called out on strikes, and there's a swung on strike 1. Well, Coach Schaff also said that Dodson is a mainstay on their pitching staff. But the way he's throwing the ball down second base, I can certainly see that. There's a ball low and outside. That'll even the count at 1-1. Hudson steps in there with that wide stance, is ready to go, and there's a throw over to first base. A-Rod back in plenty of time. Wilmoth looks around. Here comes his next pitch, and that's caught the inside corner for strike. And Hudson Williams shakes his head and says, yep, that's exactly right. That one's on me. So we've got a ball and 2 strikes. 1 out. We're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Cats have got a score of 5-1 over the Mountaineers from Mount Vernon. Here comes the next pitch, and Hudson just kind of squibs that one out of the way for strike 2. Wilmoth looks down. Here comes the next pitch underway, and he hits him. So Rodriguez goes to second, and that's the 3rd hit batsman. And he's going to check and make home plate umpire wants to make sure that he's okay. Here's the top of the batting order, and we're going to look and see that may be all there is right now. However, we're going to have a pitching change. And we'll see what kind of maybe not. We'll see. Coach Schaff is out there, and he's talking with his pitcher and catcher and telling everybody else to stay put. And home plate umpire is going to break that up here in just a minute or two, and we'll get back underway. Runners on first and second. There is 1 out. It's the bottom half of the 4th inning. Cats are up by a score of 5-1. Certainly glad to have you with us this evening. We're grateful not only for our watchers, but we're grateful also for our sponsors, First Free Will Baptist Church, Family Market, Josh Dodson's your Home Bureau agent, and Affordable Propane. Finford's loose in. Here's the first pitch, and he hits a high towering ball that I believe is going to be out of play. No, I guess that was caught.
Yes, caught him out, huh?
It was caught. So there's the second out to the side. And here's Jaden Nichols. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning, and then he flied out to right field. There's the first pitch, and it's a ball. Low and outside, excuse me. He stands in there. He's got a little bit of a deep knee bend to him. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. And there's a ball that was fouled back out of play. Just squibbed off from the catcher. So that's going to make a ball and 2 strikes. Wilmoth looking around, looking every which way. There's a pitch, and there's another one that was fouled off, so we'll do it again. After him is Drake Jennings, the left fielder, and Canton Smith. Jaden stands in. Wilmoth looks around. Here comes the pitch. A high kick, and it is low and outside, and that'll run the count full. Wilmoth's looking the ball over just a little bit, and home plate umpire, or field umpire, is going to talk to the home plate umpire for just a minute. I think we're going to see if, in the midst of him dropping the ball, if that wasn't a balk.
Something like
yes,
that.
It was. It was a balk. It certainly was. So we have runners move on to second and third. And 2 runners in scoring position. The ball through the infield is going to score 2 for the Cats. Here comes the next pitch. He holds it back. And now the count is full of 3-2. Two outs, bottom half of the 4th inning. Cats can be in business with runners on second and third. And he swung on and struck out. And that retires the side, but we leave 2 stranded. And at the end of 4, the score is Neosho Wildcats 5 and the Mount Vernon Mountaineers 1. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
The Sports Locker, located at 1206 Neosho Boulevard, Neosho, is a proud supporter and supplier of Neosho Wildcat Athletics. Open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. They carry all the biggest brands, including Under Armour, Nike, and Adidas sports apparel and equipment. Be sure to check out their Facebook page at Sports Locker Team Sales and Specials, or their number is 417-451-9300. Proud supporters of the Neosho Wildcats.
At Calvary Neosho, we aren't your grandmother's church, because she lives in Akron, Ohio, and that would be a terribly long commute for church. But if she did live in Neosho, we at Calvary would be delighted to have her come visit us. And since you live here, we would definitely like you to come visit us. Then, when your Nana comes to visit for Christmas, you can bring her to church and introduce us to her. We're sure she is a delightful lady. You can find us at Facebook.com/Calvary of Neosho, or join us in person at 3650 Oak Ridge Extension. We gather for worship Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Calvary Neosho. Not your grandma's church, but we'd sure like to meet her.
Wilmoth, Jones, and Dodson for the Mountaineers, the top half of the 5th inning. John Ball, Matt Ball with you. We're at the Marion Family Complex. As we said, it is a busy, busy place. And we're getting ready for Brody Wilmoth to step in. His first time up, he flied out to the first baseman. Here comes the first pitch, and there's another high fly ball that A-Rod is chasing down, and he's got it for the out. So there's the first out of the side. And here's Peyton Johnson. Johnson walked in his first time up, and then he was the front end of a double play and was forced out at second base. Brody Arthur on the mound for the Cats, just moving right along, and it's kind of his kind of ball game. He mixes his pitches up and certainly catches these Mountaineers off guard a little bit. That first pitch was high and outside for a ball. There's the next pitch, and it was high too for ball 2. So the count is 2 balls and no strikes. There's 1 out. Arthur looks down at Canton Smith. He's ready, comes from the stretch, and there's call strike 1 on the outside corner. Infield hasn't changed much. It is Nichols, Williams, Fisher, and there's call strike 2. And McInturf over on first base. In the outfield for the Cats, it is Jennings, Versluis, and Alex Rodriguez. Counts even at 2-2. There's 1 out. Here comes the next pitch, and that's swung on and fouled off. Count will remain the same, and we'll do her again. Fisher cheating in just a little bit at second base, and there's that little off-speed pitch. Apparently just didn't drop enough, so we got a full count of 3-2 on the third baseman, Peyton Jones. There comes the next pitch, and that's ball 4, and he will go to first base. Braden Dodson got on by way of an error in the first inning and was stranded at third base. Then he got on by way of a fielder's choice when Jones was forced at second base the last time he was up. hit the ball pretty hard a couple of different times. And a throw back over to first base. And Jones is back in plenty of time. One out now. This will be another time for that pitcher's best friend, Matt. Double play ball.
Yep.
Looks like he's trying to bunt. And ball got away. It was a snap throw back down to first base, and the ball got away from McInturf, but Rodriguez got over there real fast. And the runner, Jones, stays at first base. And that was a strike. He didn't get the bunt back in time. Here comes there's another snap throw over to first base. Top half of the fifth inning, Cats are up by a score of 5-1. Arthur on the mound for the Cats. The lefty looks like he's going to throw to first and comes back. The ball high and outside. Evens the count at 1-1. Beautiful, beautiful evening for baseball. We've got another one tomorrow night. There's a little bit of an off-speed pitch outside, a little bit too far outside for ball two. Kickapoo, the Kickapoo Chiefs come to town. We will start that ball game at 5 o'clock. Pre-game show will be at 4:30. Look forward to having you alongside.
Sun's supposed to be out all day tomorrow,
So
everybody come out. It's going to be a beautiful day. Come out and watch your Wildcats play.
You bet it'll be a great day to be a Wildcat.
Absolutely.
We've heard that before, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
There's a ball outside, and it's going to make 3-1 the count. There's nobody over. Well, there is somebody over in the Wildcats bullpen warming up. I can't see who that is, but here comes the next pitch from Arthur. Got him, swung on, off-speed pitch, and it's a full count. 3-2, one out, top of the fifth. Runner on first base in Peyton Jones. Arthur looks over. Here comes the pitch underway, and there is a foul ball. It was a little off-speed pitch, and Dodson got in front of it just a little bit too quick. And it went over towards the Wildcats' dugout. Well, there was another snap throw back over to first base, but Jones was there in plenty of time. Here comes the next pitch, and now they've got him. They've got him in a rundown. And Williams just going to tag him out.
Got him.
Nice job. Great pick-off play that time by Arthur in order to get the rundown. So there is the second out. So that went from 1 to 3 to 6.
I just want to say our whole infield was in on that right there.
Yeah, they
Everybody was backing each other up.
Yeah, they were. It was great play by the Cats.
Fun to watch
that time.
right there.
You bet. Here comes the next pitch underway, and that's ball 4. So Dodson draws a walk. Zarek Pham, the right fielder, he struck out twice. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner, and that is number 14, and we'll tell you who he is here in just a second.
That is Cash Garner.
Cash Garner, the freshman, is going to run for Dodson so he can get ready to get his gear back on. Arthur looking down. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, strike one, and there's a snap throw back to first base. Did not quite get him. Arthur moving right along. Looked like he was called strike. Arthur's got an amazing move over to first base and looked like maybe he was going to step off towards first and brought the ball on home and froze the batter. Here comes the next one. There's a high fly ball, and it's going to be Jaden Fisher makes the catch, and that retires the side. So there's no damage done. There was one runner on base. And the score after 4.5 innings of play is your Neosho Wildcats 5 and the Mount Vernon Mountaineers 1. We'll be back in just a minute with Drake Jennings, Kenton Smith, and Lim McInturf. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
You found it, the ultimate car wash. The one that leaves your vehicle looking brand new every single time. Do we have a prep team that pre-washes? You bet. Over 300 ports applying soap to your vehicle? Yes, sir. 40 high-pressure nozzles providing over 2,500 psi of pressure? Who wouldn't? Buff and dry features that dry your car along with combined 100 horsepower blowers? Try 150. Be careful, we might just blow you away.
Welcome back to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Here's Drake Jennings. Jennings has struck out twice, which is very uncharacteristic of him. I'm sure nothing would please him any more than to get on base by hook or crook. And there's a ball for ball 1. Looks like number 4 is in the process, and that is the DH, Braden Jamison, warming up over in the Mountaineers bullpen. Looks like the Cats have got someone up and warming up too, but once again I can't see exactly who that is. And there's the next pitch, and that's a strike. That's going to make the count 2 balls and a strike to Jennings. Comes the next pitch from Wilmoth. That's high, ball 3. I believe if I were Mr. Jennings, I might just watch one more and see what happens. Yeah. Here it comes, and there's call strike 2. So now we've got a full count. Kenton Smith and then Lim McInturf for the Cats. Comes with Wilmoth's next pitch, and he walks. And so Jennings gets rewarded for his patience by going down to first base. Here's Kenton Smith, senior catcher. He has a double and a triple in this ball game. Last one he hit, it was a high towering ball that got behind the center fielder and got all the way out to deep center field to the fence, but it stayed in, and he made it to third base standing up. And he's a little fake bunt. He comes back and swings at the first and fouls it off for strike 1. Cats could use another big inning right here. Kenton acts like he's going to bunt. He rears back, and there's swung on. That's going to get back into the soccer field. And that's going to be strike 2 on the big Neosho catcher. Now he's adjusted his headgear. I feel better about this bat already. Wilmoth on the mound, but there's somebody warming up, and Kenton says, no, he's taking too much time. I'm going to back out for just a minute. Steps back in. Jennings over on first base. Call strike 3, got him. Here's McInturf. McInturf has come around and scored, and then he flied out to right field. looks down at Coach Keith Kilgore down on third base. There's the first pitch, and that was a ball high. Dodson looks like he wanted to snap, throw it back to first base, but Jennings back in plenty of time. Be a JV ball game after this one, and then as we said, Kickapoo will be here tomorrow night, and their ball gets past the catcher, and Jennings goes on down to second base. So there's one out, and the Cats have got something going with a runner in scoring position, Greg Jennings. McInturf is very disciplined as well, but he's got some pop on his bat. And Wilmoth looks back. Here comes the first pitch in, and there's a ball right up the center. Yeah. And here comes Jennings. He's going to come on around, and they cut it off, and he makes a score. So McInturf gets a single, and Jennings scores, and that puts the Cats up by a score of 6-1.
It's a great line drive.
It wasn't just right there where that ball had eyes, no doubt about it. Brody Crane hit a home run in the first inning over the left center field. Now he got hit, so that's one way to keep him from getting another home run. That is the fourth, I believe, maybe it's the fourth hit batsman by Wilmoth, and
here comes Coach.
I think here comes the coach, and we're going to see if maybe we aren't ready to make a pitching change, and it kind of looks that way. So he takes the ball, and
nevertheless,
we're making a pitching change. We're going to take a timeout. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
The Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce invites you to download the new Experience Neosho app, available for free on the Apple and Google Play Store. Your guide to eat, shop, play, and stay in Neosho, and your direct link to KNEO Wildcat Sports. Download the app, register to win weekly prizes, and listen to your favorite Wildcat sports. Good luck, Wildcats. We can't wait to hear you ring that bell.
At the Hillcrest Church of Christ, we're striving to be His own people, eager to do what is good. Join us for worship at 10 and 6 Sundays, and for class Sunday morning at 9 and Wednesday evening at 7. You're sure to find a warm welcome and friendly people seeking to please God according to His Word. Wildcats, join us every Tuesday morning before school for Devo and Donuts at 7 a.m. Learn more about the Hillcrest Church of Christ at neoshochurchofchrist.org.
McKay Quality Roofing is a proud supporter of KNEO Radio and the Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. They're located in their offices at 811 South Neosho Boulevard. They specialize in roof removal and replacement of residential and commercial properties. In order to serve you better, they have offices in Neosho, Cassville, and...
He's right-handed. We got to see him catch and throw a couple of balls. Doesn't seem to have just a whole lot of speed. Here's Jaden Fisher. He got a ball, base on balls his last time up. Here comes the first pitch, and there's called strike one. So Mr. Tennyson's not wasting any time. His first pitch out of the chute is a strike. He looks back at second base. Here comes, and it looked like he was going to throw the ball back there, and changed his mind and held on to it. In the bottom half of the second inning, and there is a ball inside. Bottom half of the fifth inning. I'm sorry, I said second inning. Fifth inning, and the score is 6-1 in favor of your Neosho Wildcats. Tennyson on in relief of Wilmoth, and there's the next pitch, and that's going to be low for ball two. So we've got runners on first and second. There is one out, and the batter is the second baseman, Jaden Fisher. Here comes the next one, and that's outside for a ball. 3-1's the count. So Tennyson threw his first one. It was a strike, and then he's Followed that up with 3 balls. After Fisher is Rodriguez, Hudson, then it's the top of the batting order for the Cats. And there's a hard hit ball that goes right in between, and we're going to score another run. And
no,
he's safe. Safe, yes, sir. He was safe. And we will take that.
Patterson.
And that was Patterson and his speed. But in the midst of that, Brody Crane goes to second. Jaden Fisher gets his first hit of the night. Runners on first and second, and there is still just 1 out. And the Cats have scored 2.
And coach doesn't like it from Mount Vernon, but
no, I'm sure he does not. And he's going to talk to the home plate umpire about it for just a minute. But that ball actually had eyes, didn't it? Went right in between the third baseman and the shortstop.
Yeah, it did.
So the Cats have scored 2 in this inning, and the score is 7-1. Bottom of the 5th. And the batter is Rodriguez, who's actually had 2 singles. He was called out stealing second base first time he was up, and then he was stranded at third in the 4th inning. That's Hudson Williams, the shortstop after that. Rodriguez crowds the plate just a little bit. Here comes the first pitch from Tennyson, and swung on, strike 1. Tennyson, the former first baseman, on in relief of Wilmoth. Here comes the next pitch, and that hit him, so that we're going to load the bases. That is the 5th hit batsman that we've had in the ball game. And here's Hudson Williams. Hudson has flied out to the right fielder, and he was hit by a pitch and stranded at second base in the 4th inning. After Hudson is the top of the batting order. Steps in that wide stance of his. Here comes the first pitch, and swung on for strike 1. There's no doubt in my mind Hudson was doing what we call, Matt, fastball hunting.
Yeah, he is.
Most definitely, and he was going to try to move everybody around. Here comes the next pitch, and that almost got away from the catcher, but everybody is back. Crane is on third base, Fisher is on second, and Rodriguez is on first. And there's 1 out. Comes the next pitch, and that ball bounced in front of home plate, so there's 2 balls and a strike. Hudson looks in, there's the next pitch, and he's swung on and fouled that one back, and leaving the count at 2-2. Been an interesting ball game. Certainly Mr. Dodson behind home plate has taken the Cats out of their primary plan just because he can throw the ball down to second base.
Yeah, he can. He's got a good arm.
Yes, he does. He's got a great arm. The count is full on Hudson Williams now, 3-2. That ball bounced in front of the plate. Hudson's pretty disciplined. Let's see what he does here. And there is a hard hit ball, and that is going to go way back, and that is going to score 1, maybe 3 when all's said and done. And Hudson Williams may very well end up at home plate, and he's going to come all the way home.
Holy cow.
And, inside the park home run for Hudson Williams.
Wow.
We always knew that Hudson had the speed, and that most definitely happened. And that's going to end the ball game, it looks like to me, because the Cats are up by 10 now. And inside the park, grand slam, home run by Hudson Williams. And that is going to finish the ball game. It most certainly is. So the Cats win it by a score of 11-1 in 5 innings. Great, great job. And Matt, you just got to see something I've watched for years now, and that's the speed of Hudson Williams.
just amazing, you guys.
Very, very much so. That ball got behind the center fielder, and it was all she wrote. He just kept on going. Stay tuned for the post-game show, and we have an interview with Coach Keith Kilgore, and it'll be brought to you by Arvest Bank. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
The Freeman Family YMCA is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Serving the four-state area, the Freeman Family Y believes in putting Christian principles into practice through programs, building a healthy spirit, mind, and body. With 2 locations to serve the area in Grove, Oklahoma, and Neosho, the Freeman Family Y open 5:30 to 9 Monday through Saturday, 1 to 5 on Sunday. For more information, you can go online to ymcaswmo.org or call us at 417-455-9999.
Singing is my career and my calling, but I'm also a mother of 4.
And as entrepreneurs, we weigh the cost of every decision.
Medical bills are no longer a worry for our family, so I can focus on my calling.
And our family.
Joining Christian Healthcare Ministries was one of the best decisions we ever made. We're the Blair family, and this is our CHM story.
Choose your doctor without network restrictions, all at an affordable price. Enroll anytime at chministries.org/enroll.
Today's Wildcat game is brought to you by Edgewood Bowling Center of Neosho, Missouri. Located at 2811 Gardner Edgewood Drive, they now have new synthetic lanes for adult and children bowling leagues and a smoke-free environment. They also have a certified pro shop and hosting for private parties. They offer Cosmic Glow Bowling on Fridays and Saturdays after 8 p.m. To learn more about Edgewood Bowling Center and their leagues for adults and children, the phone number is 417-451-4505.
Well, welcome back to the Marion Family Complex. The Cats win it in 5 by a score of 11-1 thanks to a walk-off inside the park grand slam home run by Hudson Williams. The Cats did it on 7 hits. And talking to Coach Kilgore before the ball game, he said, you know, we're going to have to start playing a little bit more small ball. Well, that didn't happen tonight. We had a home run by Crane. Then we had a double and a triple by Canton Smith. And then, of course, that inside the park home run. A couple or 3 singles along the way. Rodriguez had 2 singles on his own, and Jaden Fisher had a single, but when all was said and done, even though Mr. Dodson had the arm that we saw and he was able to get us out at second base, it was the speed again that got the Cats into the ball game and kept us going. We're going to have a JV ball game going here in just a few minutes, but we're going to take time out for this. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Pastor Jeremy Bridges with the Canopy Church, and I want to give you some encouragement today. No matter how far you feel from God, right now, did you know He's never more than a prayer away? Psalm 145 says, "The Lord is near to all who call upon Him." If you need to reconnect with God today, He's just one prayer away. If you need to ask for forgiveness, He's just one prayer away. If you need God's help or guidance, all it takes is a prayer. If you haven't talked to God in weeks and you know your relationship with Him isn't as it should be, cry out to Him. It's just one prayer away. And if salvation is what you need, ask Him. He's just one prayer away. Have you talked to God today? He's waiting to hear from you. For KNEO Radio, I'm Jeremy Bridges.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
Well, welcome back. We are waiting for Coach Keith Kilgore to come up and talk to us for just a few minutes. Brody Arthur gets the win. He goes the whole time for the Cats. It took him just 59 pitches in 5 innings. He had 3 strikeouts. He gave up a couple of base on balls, and there was one ball that was hit and one of those base-on balls came back to haunt him as Tennyson came around to score. Tennyson was the loser. Wilmoth pitched a majority of the ball game, but Tennyson ended up giving up the walk-off grand slam to Hudson Williams. The Cats now go to 13-2, and we will play here again tomorrow night, and we will be playing Kickapoo, which will be a COC ball game. So we're excited about getting that ball game underway. This is now the post-game show, and it's brought to you by Arvest Bank of Neosho, where we believe the power of serving others. From small businesses to agriculture, whether you're looking for someone to help you manage your mortgage or an expert in health management, we've got you covered. You deserve a financial partner who cares what happens to you and wants to help you reach your financial goals. Arvest Bank in Neosho, proud to call Neosho home. We're anticipating Coach Kilgore coming up here in just a few minutes. So while we're waiting on that, we would remind you that Kickapoo is coming tomorrow. That'll be a 5 o'clock start. We'll be on at 4:30. Then we'll be following the Cats to Ozark, where the Cats will take on Ozark. And here is Coach Keith Kilgore. We've got a couple of ball players with us. Coach, congratulations. Yeah, I see that. Let's talk to Mr. Arthur first. What do you say? Mr. Arthur.
How you doing?
Congratulations. Great win.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, did you ever think you were in trouble?
There were some moments, a lot of walks you could have minimized. It's a good Mount Vernon squad, but good to come out, throw well. Offense covered me, played some good defense, and great to get a win.
Well, it's really exciting because this is a defensive ball club.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it seemed like that their catcher, Dodson, kind of took away the steal from us because he threw the ball down to second base with precision, didn't he?
He sure did. He got us a few times.
But talking about precision, you were able to put the ball on the inside, on the outside. It kind of seemed like that you were able to just pick and choose your spots.
Yeah, we had some difficulty in some counts, falling behind, but it was a good day, step in the right direction, and excited for the next one.
Yeah, and we've got Kickapoo tomorrow night. Right now we are 3-0 in conference, and that put us 4-0, and then we go see Ozark. Ozark's got 12 wins under their belt.
It's a big week, but, we're in the COC too. We're here for a reason, and we got a great chance again.
Yeah, let's talk for just a minute about defense. I know as a pitcher you get a chance to watch defense, but you really appreciate it. The double play ball that went from Lim to Hudson and then back to Lim again. It's a double play ball we haven't seen in a while. That took some excitement, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, 3-6-3, you don't see it too often, but had a runner on, got a great ball in a great spot, and was glad to get out of there.
Yeah, it was. That really, truly was. So as one of those guys that's been around here for a while, you got to feel really good about where we are and where we're going, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Team's playing great. All the work put on in the offseason, it's coming to fruition. It's just great to see.
All right. Well, you had a few strikeouts along the way too. So, and didn't seem like you just kept the batters back on their heels.
Yep. Just mixing it up, getting ahead in counts. It's really the goal. It's a good Mount Vernon team, but got to them.
Yeah, it is. They've come in here. They just beat Cassville, and then they beat Parkview. They just beat Parkview 9-0.
Oh wow!
So yeah, they're just a pretty good ball club, and exciting to see. Congratulations on a great win.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you a lot. And that just about says it. That tells us what we've got. Coach Kilgore doesn't look like he's going to come back. He wants someone else to get an opportunity, but you can hear the thrill in the players of how exciting it is. So that is going to about, here comes a couple more. Yeah, I wanted players, and here they come. Here's the guy that hit the tower, right? Congratulations. Nice hit ball. Let's get over here, and let's do it like this. Let's jump around here like this, okay? Okay, you hit the tower, and you got the speed, right? And I was telling Matt, I said, I've been watching this kid for 4 years. Now you know why he's exciting. Congratulations. But, hey, nice hit.
Thank you.
You're DHing a little bit tonight. Tell me, how is DHing any different than playing the outfield or on the mound?
Honestly, DHing, you just get to focus more on hitting. Like you're in the dugout cheering your boys on, and it's just a good environment, especially in our dugout. We got a great JV team that supports us, and it's just a good time, honestly. And playing, I mean, it's just got to get your job done at the same time, like both.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we are 13-2 now. Did you have any idea the first of the year we were going to be here like this?
Honestly, I did, because we
go.
came in this year and we were working hard, and it's finally paying off, and I'd say it's paying off well.
Well, that was not only a towering home run, it was against the wind towering home run.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, and that just set the tone for us.
Yes, sir.
Great ball game. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let me talk to this guy over here for a minute. Hudson Williams, and you probably don't know this. I may be one of the only people in the world that knows this, but there was a time last year that you went 8 ball games getting on base every game. That seems to be something that you're able to do. And you've gone from third base to shortstop. Any difference there?
Well, third base is more of the hot seat over there, but I had always played short. I always knew I wanted to play short. It was always a goal for me to play short in high school, and I'm really glad that I get to do it because I know I can excel at it. It's been a great time. This year's the team culture is just different. I mean, the way we came into the year with the coaching and the players, it's really been a different mentality. It's been great.
Yeah, you hit the ball and you got it all the way past the center fielder, and it looked like about halfway to third base, there wasn't no stopping you. You were going to go.
Yeah, I needed that. I wasn't having the best time at the plate recently, so it was good. I went up there, knew I was going to swing as hard as I could, and yeah, I was due.
Yeah. Yeah, that first pitch that came your way, you were swinging hard, and I told man, hey, he is fastball pit hunting.
Of course, always. Yep.
Yeah, you bet. Congratulations,
Thank you,
Hudson.
sir. Appreciate it.
It's great to see you. Thanks a lot. We've got a great ball game tomorrow night. We're taking on Kickapoo. You bet. All right, Coach. Yeah, it's your turn now. Yeah. Yeah. Coach, congratulations on a great win.
Well, I appreciate that. And this was Bounce Back Monday.
Mm-hmm.
We had a tough game on Saturday against a great opponent in Southside, and 2-1 ball game. And the kids competed. We just didn't come out on the right side of the scoreboard, and so I was excited to get back out here today and get back on the field, and the kids responded.
Brody on the mound is more a technical type pitcher, isn't he? By that I mean he doesn't just throw all fastballs. He comes in with that changeup. He's got that little curveball that comes around the corner, that natural curve, but he keeps the ball in play, doesn't he?
He does, and you got to attack the zone. And the one thing that we keep preaching is locate and change speeds, and and he's got multiple pitches that he can throw for a strike. So I was very proud of him tonight, just keeping him off balance and competing.
And that's exactly right. We talked about how it looked like that their batters were off balance most of the time. They didn't know what was coming.
And that's what you got to do against, any team, especially a good hitting team. And, you just got to keep them off balance, and he did a good job of that.
Well, not only that, the defense behind him. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen a 3-6-3 double play.
It's been a while, and excited to see that, but our guys have bought into our defensive effort, and that's something that we work on every day, and believe it or not, that's one of the phases that we work on daily.
Well, we talk about, and you told me that you spend a lot of time with two-strike hitting. Two-strike hitting. That seems to have paid off tonight.
Well, you got to have a two-strike approach. You got to shorten your swing, and you got to put it in play and put the pressure on the defense, force them to make plays. Swing and misses, too easy.
Yeah, very much so. The wind was out there a little bit. It wasn't too bad. I mean, our guys knew what they were doing and where they were going, and we hit some balls. Canton hit one past, got behind the center fielder as well as Hudson, and we did have one bunt, didn't we? And that was Finn. And that did you call that bunt?
We did.
Okay.
And we tried to execute some hit and runs and situational ABs, and just very proud of the guys. I mean, they kind of bought into the philosophy and shortening the swing, putting the ball in play, and trying to put pressure on people. And so we had several quality ABs up and down the lineup tonight.
The Hudson kid, or the Dodson kid behind the plate, kind of took away a little bit of our game, didn't he?
That's probably one of the best catchers that we've seen this year. He was, right at 2 below on a pop time, but, he put the ball on the bag. So he'll limit a lot of your, running game. So you have to resort to other things, and that's the bunt, and that's the hit and run, and if you want to get runners in motion.
Yeah. We got Kickapoo tomorrow night. What do we know about them?
Just what you read in the score and history. Historically, Kickapoo is, have always been a solid program, and, and we're expecting, their, best. And I saw where this past Tuesday they beat Joplin 10-0, and I think they're starting to play better. Their record, is above 500.
Yeah.
But they're playing better baseball right now, so we're going to have to play air-free, solid defense, and attack the zone, get ahead of hitters, and then hopefully we have enough quality ABs, in the end.
One of the other things, every team that we played up to this point, with the exception, of course, we'll see Ozark on Thursday, and they've got as many wins as well. Not now, because we've got one more win than they do, but that going down to Florida is paying off, isn't it?
It has. I mean, not only from a competitive standpoint, but it was about building relationships and that trust and that family type, environment that you need to be successful. And, and that's one thing that will contribute Florida to, was not only playing baseball, but to develop a better culture.
Yeah. Okay, we'll have a JV ball game here in just a little bit, and then we'll have one again tomorrow night. Is that right?
I will.
All right.
Yep.
So we want to tell everybody, quit listening to you and me. Come on out here, get in the stands, and watch these kids play. They are deserving of the support.
They are fun to watch, and just a great group. And as always, they're going to put a good show on, and that's what we expect every time out.
All right, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you, and go
Appreciate
Cats.
It. You bet. Go Cats. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up. You bet. Thank you, Coach. Matt, one last thought. What do you think?
Well, I just got to say, it seems like a lot of these guys out here are playing, they're on a collegiate level. And, this isn't your old school baseball anymore here. We're playing on to this is a new level, and it's fun, and you guys just got to get out here and watch for yourselves. Thank you for listening, and
all right, then if that be the case, we're going to finish it up for John Ball. And Matt Ball will be with us tomorrow night at 4:30 for the pregame show. Kickapoo Chiefs come to town. And then we will be going to Ozark on Thursday night. So till we see you the next time, go Cats!
This has been a live production of KNEO Sports. This broadcast may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent of KNEO Sports Network. This has been a sporting outreach of KNEO Sports Network, reaching into communities to make a difference for eternity.